What is up, everybody? This is Calen Carr, and we are about to get started for something new here. We haven't done this. We've done about every kind of stream you could possibly imagine over the last several months, but we have yet to do this over a live match, and we have an excellent group here today. I guess just to hang out with me and watch the match. It's a little bit of if you're watching on Twitter and you want to open up a second screen and follow along, we're going to be talking about it and kind of enjoying it ourselves. So pleased to be joined today by Rox Fontaine, right front and center, NYCFC supporter, and a founder of Apollo Culture. So make sure to check him out on Instagram, Twitter, all that. Rox, thanks for joining, man. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for responding to my DM today to hop in
no worries.
And enjoy the match. And then on the other side, of course, we've got NYCFC playing against Orlando City, and we have another friend, Taylor Williams, of mine, who also responded to my DM today. Taylor and I have been able to connect over the years around Orlando City and some pieces that I've done when I went over to the UK to understand what it was like to be a supporter of MLS abroad. But I guess you're abroad, but in a different sense in Toronto right now, right? Is that right, Taylor?
I'm a bit of a confuser at the moment. So yeah, we are Orlando City UK, like Calen says. But me personally, I'm lucky enough to be watching this at a sensible time tonight in Toronto. So yeah, pleasure to be on. And the tournament's been great. It's been absolutely brilliant.
That's awesome. Well, I would imagine you would feel that way with the way you guys started off. So we'll see if Rox feels that way and how everybody feels at the end of today. But yeah, it's awesome to have you guys on. Make sure to follow both these guys. Orlando City UK is a really cool account. And can you tell us a little bit more about it for those that may have not been following for now?
Absolutely. So as you'll see from the handle, we're based in the UK. We've been supporting Orlando City since the MLS debut in 2015 against NYCFC, and we're crazy for it. You know, we've watched MLS for longer than that, and I get over to Exploria Stadium down there in Florida every year. It's not gone so well in MLS so far. You don't need me to tell you that, but we support the team no matter what, through thick and thin. And we had an amazing morale boosting victory against our new Florida rivals, Florida's Purple. So yeah, we're bouncing into this one tonight.
Cool. Not wasting any time. And the match has begun. We are just about 30 seconds in. We're going to have an awesome guest throughout the match. We've got Miguel Gallardo, of course, from Orlando City, a broadcaster, analyst, and former player for them. And then who else? The Cooligans. It wouldn't be a live stream without them. So
not at all.
You have to pay respect to the streaming gods. They will be joining us throughout the match tonight. So I guess just to start, how are you guys feeling about this one? I guess on both sides. We'll start with you, Rox.
I feel okay. We're gonna see if the forwards can get it together tonight. Put the ball in the back of the net 2 or 3 times. We'll see. I think the team did okay last game. They moved the ball around, held possession as normal, but without finishing, it's all pointless. So hopefully they'll get some points on the board tonight.
Okay. What about you, Taylor?
For me, I mean, we had the most amazing start, dramatic circumstances with Nani. Obviously, 5 years so far in MLS has been really disappointing. But what I'm seeing early days under Oscar Pereira is, I don't want this to bite me, but we're keeping games really tight from the off. You know, we've been drawing 0-0 at halftime in all 3 of our games so far under Pereira. So that's a change for us. You know, we're not giving ourselves a mountain to climb. So hopefully we can get on the front foot early again tonight.
Yeah, I think when I watch Orlando City games, I'm never quite sure what to expect. Yeah. Sometimes it's like you come back late and you win. Sometimes you give up late goals, and it seems like he has really kind of steadied the ship. I mean, early days, of course, but at least giving them some backbone to build from.
Yeah, we certainly had the cardiac cats back in that match day 1 encounter. I mean, we made a name for ourselves, didn't we, in those early years of MLS of scoring late. The RSL one comes to mind, and I don't want to leave it that late tonight. I'd like to be sitting a bit more comfortably, but
yeah. Well, you got to feel good going in with 3 points. When you look at the group overall, I think Philly and And Miami will be playing later tonight, and Philly has 3 points. Miami really with some pressure on them. Rocks for NYCFC. I mean, are you concerned about the lack of goal scoring, or is it just are you chalking that up to Andre Blake?
I'm not super concerned as of right now. This kind of happens time to time with this team. People go missing for a little bit. Like I said, we just got to get the forwards on the same page right now. We generally experiment with the front three.
Yeah. Get in there. Come on.
What?
Cash money.
I'm behind.
Cash money.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Jeez Louise.
This is like when they go to the coaches interview and immediately the other team scores. I'm sorry to do that to you, Rocks.
Oh man, that's terrible.
I had a lot of my followers Chris Mueller would score tonight, and he scored already. So they're going to be beaming with this one. What a start!
Wow,
that's ridiculous.
Good ball there from Matinho.
Great assist from Matinho.
That is completely ridiculous.
Again, this is great for Chris Mueller as well. 3 goals now on 2020, back-to-back games, Colorado, Miami, now NYCFC. You know,
wow.
We've been pushing for that guy to get some US men's national team recognition. It's still probably a bit early, but if he continues in this vein, adding goals to his game, really bright player.
He definitely has some qualities. I mean, definitely. I like how direct he is. He's not afraid of the moment too.
Yeah.
So he's definitely shown some good stuff this tournament as well.
Yeah, this is really key for Chris as well, because kind of in the couple of years he's been at Orlando, he's earned this impact sub tag. You know, he's been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United over the years, you know, and he does affect games from the 70th minute onwards, but now he's kind of starting under Pereira. This is really good for him personally.
Yeah. That super sub thing can be a gift and a curse. You're like,
yeah, for sure.
You're like, why do you think I'm doing this? It's not to keep coming off the bench.
Sounds like Jonathan Lewis.
Yeah. Sorry. Speaking from personal experience a little bit there. We gotta.
For real.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow. All right. Orlando is buzzing right now.
Yeah.
Out of the gate strong.
Yeah. We have got to pick up the intensity. Clearly.
Well, the hard part is with this heat and humidity, when you go down a goal, especially early, to go from behind and chase matches. I mean, we've seen teams do it. DC came back. Minnesota came back.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a couple of teams do it, but you start to build, that mountain can get bigger and bigger as the night goes on.
Yeah. A couple of months ago, we at Orlando City UK, we spoke to former Lion Luke Bowden, and he said about the heat and humidity down there in Florida. He said when he came over from England that you think you're fit, you have to be 10 times fitter than that to play in this. You know, it's just the humidity more than the heat is so demanding on the players.
Yeah. Hey, I played in Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually think that can be a big advantage because when you watch Houston last night, I mean, they didn't seem too bothered by it, and were able to get off to a good start against LAFC.
Absolutely.
Taylor, I wanted to ask you more about this growing fandom abroad. I guess, why did you pick Orlando City as a club to support, and why do you think you found so many others that have as well?
Well, for me, Orlando was always a place that I was lucky enough to travel to as a kid. Spoiled rotten as a kid by my parents, really. We went and did the iDrive, we did the theme parks as most British tourists do, and I was always interested in MLS. I'll whisper this, but I had San Jose Earthquakes and Seattle Sounders jerseys in the early days.
That's all right. Hey, that's probably a different name. That could have been the Clash back then, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we went over there year after year, so it was really a second home for me. And then 2015 came around, did all of my research on the USL, the minor league days, but we really started following in 2015. And honestly, it's a club that is so special to me. Every time we've gone over there, the reception I've got from our fans and the respect for what we do, staying up late, obviously being 5 hours ahead in the UK, and following this team. I was lucky enough to get on a local broadcast down there, and they couldn't believe that there was this guy that traveled across the pond to watch Orlando City. And it's kind of, it's got more and more addictive. I stay up and watch every game. I'm in Toronto at the moment, but I stay up and watch every game, and it's just different. I'm a big Arsenal fan, and say what you want about the Arsene Wenger years, the back end of the Arsene Wenger years, but I was just craving something. And,
I am too. I was apologizing for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Poor decision making. Yeah.
You got to make better life decisions.
So you've said you've been to Orlando, and I've seen some photos of you there with some of the other supporters and club personnel. What has it been like for you on your trip? I even saw a picture of you with Kaká, I believe.
Yes. I mean, what an experience the great man, to meet him. We've been so lucky in the 5 years we've been doing it. Really, we've been on the pitch. We've been in the
come on, get it up the pitch.
Meeting Kaká was surreal. We met him in the tunnel at Exploria Stadium, and honestly, about Kaká, this won't surprise you because it's true. That guy will stay 2 hours after a full-time whistle, and he will sign every autograph. Ooh. He is there for every single fan. Being who he is, he's been there, seen it, and got the T-shirt. So he's such a great professional, and we're honored to have had him play for our club.
That's a very Orlando thing to say. Been there and got the T-shirt.
It is.
Rox, I wanted to ask you more about Apollo culture. I know you started it for a while now. I've seen it growing. I think you some stickers.
Oh, come on.
Oh no, Rox! Every time I bring it up, man.
I know, it's crazy. Oh my God! Jeez! Oh, what is happening?
Wow!
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing.
What is happening? This
Calen,
is unbelievable.
Of Orlando City. I mean, this is
unbelievable. Oh man!
Let's have a look.
What is happening?
Dwyer with the header. Oh, Sean Johnson caught on his heels.
This is crazy,
man.
This is crazy.
Is Nani sporting an Alice band as well tonight? That's the first time we've seen that.
Good composure.
No, he's completely. Oh my. Ooh.
What a star.
Shut his mic off.
Yeah, Rox is going to want to mute me now.
Oh, man.
Rox, I hate to do this to you, but we're about to bring in someone from the other side.
Ooh.
Miguel Gallardo from the Orlando City broadcast team, analyst, and former player. Miguel, this has got to be a dream start. You said you were nervous before the match. You got to be feeling good now.
Let me tell you something. Who are we watching? NYCFC versus 2015 Barcelona? Is that what we're watching right now?
Come on,
are you kidding me? The combination, the composure, the calm, the service. What am I watching right now?
It's coming together tonight, Miguel.
I will say this though, Rox, please stay on because every time you talk,
I'm here.
Of course.
Savage.
Keep him on. Keep him on. No, guys, it's great to be here. Thank you for the invite. I'm glad that I wasn't on earlier because the amount of cursing that I did on those 2 goals and then 2 close opportunities was incredible. So very, very happy. I hope that my happiness is sustainable through 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
I managed
to get start. Early days.
So far, Miguel. I managed to keep it together so far. Cool. But I was like you. I was going crazy inside. What a start.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but you know what I love is, first of all, I love the fact that he went with the same lineup. Now, when you look at the performances of the players from last game, you could argue that a couple of them maybe didn't have the best performance, but Orlando City ultimately did end up getting the result. And Calen, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, right? So I'm happy about that and the quality of football that they're playing right now. I saw the lineup for NYCFC. Did it look like they were playing 3 in the back? I thought with Nani playing out wide, the midfielders are going to have to do a lot of running to try to contain Nani because if you get him out wide isolated, he's going to create a lot of trouble. So, and Juan on the other side as well. So great start for Orlando City. Couldn't be more pleased.
Miguel, you're there all the time and see these guys close up. When you look at Mueller and his 2 goals here, and he had the important one in the last match as well. When you look at his progression, he's been used a lot off the bench, but how do you think he can maybe take a big step forward, or are we watching him take a big step forward right now?
Well, it's early. It's really early to tell. I hope that this is a turning point for him. One of the things that kind of have been very obvious from Chris Mueller is that every time he steps on the field, he makes an impact. But you could argue that, when he comes in, it's usually, 70th minute, 60th minute, Orlando City's chasing the game. So all he has to do is just go, take chances, take risk. And then, and I think that's why maybe he has gotten that tag of, a super sub, because he does impact the game. And ultimately, that's what you want as a sub. But I just think that, a couple of years ago in his first year where he was runner-up for Rookie of the Year, I know that there was conversations. I know that there was, the U.S. men's national team coaching staff lurking around the games, and there was an interest about him because I do think that he brings something different. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I think it's his decision-making, when to pass, when to keep the ball, when to drink water with the ball, as I call it. You know what I mean? Just kind of read the tempo of the game. Rox, I am so sorry you were so frustrated.
Rox is having trouble right now.
But look, he's got 3 goals already in 2020. Yeah. It was not an easy finish on the first one. And on the second one, you saw an incredible amount of composure, calm, with Sean Johnson coming out to charge him. And he just said, he took his time, checked his Twitter, dribbled him, and then banged it in the back of the net. I think I really am excited for big things to come out of Chris Mueller.
We should have had him log into the stream.
For real.
Rox, keep talking. I need a third one.
Nah, man. Listen, it's going to be rough through the midfield without Maxi. We knew this.
Yeah.
We've had this problem before, but a 2-0 start is nightmarish. 1 was bad enough. 2 is like, come on, we got to get it together. We'll see how they respond. I'm sure they can do it. I know the quality of this team.
Yeah.
They got to make something happen. They got to make it happen like now.
This is sounding like a coach's post-game presser. Like, I know the quality of the side. I believe in the character of the group.
What are you focusing on the development? Is that what you focus? Results come later.
We're playing the young kid. We're playing the kids.
I get it. No, I'm just messing around. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I thought NYCFC was far better than Philadelphia Union in the first game. I thought Andrew Blake was a huge factor. Why they didn't get the goal? He was incredible. The saves that he made were ridiculous, and I think it was an unfair result. Well, when I say unfair, you know what I mean. I think they deserve more on that game. But come on. Look, at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's about putting the ball in the back of the net. And Taylor, you and I know that that's been a struggle for Orlando City in the past because you play well, you create chances, but you just don't get that finish, that moneymaker move that's going to get you points and take you farther.
That's what's been so pleasing tonight. We've been clinical, and to race into a 2-goal lead, like off the top of my head, I can't think of too many Orlando City games from the last 5 years where we've done that. So a position of power now, obviously sitting pretty on 6 points as it stands. There's going to be a lot of game management from Oscar Pereira coming up.
Listen,
fantastic stuff.
2-0 is a dangerous lead. You know this.
It is. The next goal's key, as they say.
You know this.
Keep going, Russ. Keep going. I think it's obviously really, really. There's still a lot of game to be played. I think Orlando is putting they're putting on their chips in this, first 15 minutes of the game to just put everything out there, all the meat on the grill, and just go for it. It's paid off for them. But as you guys know, the heat is a factor. How they're going to adjust. They're obviously not going to be able to keep this up for 90 minutes. It's going to be really interesting how they adjust to a maybe a New York City FC that they're going to try something, right? They're going to start taking chances. How's Orlando City going to adapt to that? Yeah, it's going to be the interesting part. But that being said, when NYCFC starts to take risk, maybe there's more opportunities for Orlando City to counterattack as well. It's a cat and mouse game, but there's still a lot of game to be played.
Seeing how this first 20 minutes has gone so far, I honestly think Orlando should go for the kill now. I know we've seen Minnesota turn a lead, but if we can get a third goal with the heat and humidity,
listen, if I could get $10 million in the bank, that would be amazing too. But that's hard. It's harder done than said. So I think NYCFC kind of already gone through the period of shock of what's happening, right, Calen? That sometimes a game takes you by surprise and it takes you a little bit of adjustment time. I do expect NYCFC to start, playing better. So
yeah, everyone on Twitter is going nuts right now for Chris Mueller. Stu Holden says is really highlighting the composure on that finish. And then I see a response there from Adele 22.
That's a card.
I think I saw Berhalter writing a note on his pad.
Yeah, well, he's right behind the goal, right? So it's good. It's like when you're playing at the park and you have your crush shows up, you gotta show out a little bit. So
absolutely,
Chris Miller,
Leonos with the WWE moves right there. Do you see
Yeah, we got to fight for it for sure, but not that way.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see a little bit of fight. I mean, at this point, you're down 2-0. You need to find your footing way back into the game, maybe a tackle or something, just to kind of let the other team know you're there. I mean, they've been pinned back. I think no Maxi. They've been pinned back in their own half here. At least we see a good spell of possession in the other half.
Yeah, and then I think there's a great opportunity too for Medina, right? Medina hasn't quite been what he was expected to be. And without Maxi Morales, you need somebody to step up. Maybe he can be that guy. Tati Castellanos, I thought
really come on.
He was
get that off the ground.
So, but yeah, of course, having Maxi Morales absent in this game is a huge, part of who they are because, everything goes through him,
He's the field general.
Yeah, el frasquito.
Oh, el frasquito.
Oh, we got away with that one.
Yeah.
Come on.
So, really interesting.
Well, Rox, we're gonna give you a break. We haven't gotten to the water. We haven't gotten to the water breaks yet. But if you need to get something, or maybe it's something stiff. I don't know what you need, but Taylor as well. And we're gonna bring you guys back shortly in a little bit. So don't go anywhere, gentlemen. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
I think we are about to be joined by who, the Cooligans. We have I think they are going to be joining us at least. Let's see if we can log them in. There we go. I mean, gentlemen,
did you do this just to hurt us?
If it makes you feel any better, I've been there.
It doesn't.
I feel you.
It doesn't, Miguel. What the hell? What did
and Christian Polanco? Thanks, guys, for hopping in. And I mean, this is your show now, but please.
This was not the plan. Okay.
I remember when I specifically wrote the script for Don Garber. This was not it. What is going on? Why does this team want to hurt me right now? Orlando, I've done nothing to you.
I just we taped an interview with Dom Dwyer yesterday, and we told him, we're like, hey man, just take it easy. That the interview's airing Thursday, but we were like, yo, take it easy, man. He's like, no.
Like cold-hearted.
No. Now, listen, I think Dom is he's on a mission. I think it's been really difficult for him. There's been a lot of adjustment. And look, I'm not trying to make any excuses for him. I played with him, and I know the fire that the guy has, the talent. He's still one of the top scorers in Major League Soccer. Over 100 professional goals. That's not easy to accomplish, but when you look at the fact that he's got the two babies, a lot of injuries, he's had a lot to deal with. He's got a lot to deal with. But sometimes, Calen, when you're trying so freaking hard, it just nothing seems to go your way. But he's I think he's very motivated. He's worked extremely hard. He started the season with an injury. He couldn't play the first two games. So now under Oscar Pareja, he spoke really highly of him and the motivation and how they want him to be such an important player. He's a designated player. If you want to be successful in Major League Soccer, your DPs have to show up. And
what's going on here? I'm seeing we got something going on. I don't know if they're checking something or.
I think they threw an elbow at Tati. I can't remember who, but I think it's this number 6.
Okay, so ball's out of bounds. Castellanos and that's
Robin Johnson.
Yeah,
the Scandinavian Viking.
There's nothing. There's nothing to that.
I don't know what. You know what? Sometimes in slow motion, you get you can't.
Okay.
My technique, if I were Ronnie Dyla right now, would be at halftime is to find a way to get the Orlando players to somehow leave the bubble, which would not allow them to come back.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
You got to think smart. Yo, Cash Money Mueller. I think that's your mom out there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is unfortunate. This is NYCFC usually is not in this position where they're giving up early goals. They're usually giving up early red cards.
Yeah.
This is not what I want right now.
This is very 2015
No.
NYCFC, and we don't want to see that. I think this all points back to Maxi Morales, but the bigger issue is he's one of the oldest players on the team. So, and he's heavily fouled. So you expect that at some point he's going to suffer a couple of knocks here and there. What is the plan for when he's not in? Who can take over that position? Honestly, I kind of expected Medina maybe to get a shot in the middle. He's a really good passer. Seems to be struggling on the wings a little bit to meet his expectation for that the big price tag that was put on him. And whether you like it or not, you got to live up to that. So I really expected someone to sort of take the reins. Even you got a guy like Zelalem on the team who's just, maybe I'm that big of an Arsenal fan that I just remember that preseason tour in Asia, and he was so good at passing to Theo Walcott, which if you make Theo Walcott look good, you're very good at soccer. Maybe that I thought, here we go, this kid's going to get a shot. And as of right now, I think their best bet is to try to beat him with speed down the wings and to try to sort of lump it in and hope that you could either draw a foul and make it sort of a dead ball game, or maybe you could beat him on the wings. I honestly don't know. I don't know what to expect.
It seems like you have it all figured out, man.
Apparently, I'm too good, right?
Yeah. Listen, are you tweeting this to Ronnie Dyla at the moment?
I've got him on the phone. I'm pleading to him.
Listen, I think that when I realized that Maxi Morales was not going to be involved, and when you take into account that Matriza is also not going to be involved, and then you look at the lineup and no Shradi in there, I mean, that's 3 big time players that they're missing, and I thought this was a great opportunity for Orlando to capitalize on that. But that quick start was incredible, and that just puts even more pressure on NYCFC to try to figure something out, because you got players potentially playing out of position, having to do roles that they maybe didn't have to do, because you can't replace Maxi Morales. You just can't.
Yeah. No. But the one benefit is that there's no more dangerous scoreline than 2-0, and you're seeing it. You're seeing Orlando relax. You're seeing Orlando fall back into more of a defensive stance. And I think that this is an opportunity for NYCFC to at least surprise them with a goal. And if you could get at least one back before the half, it changes everything. We've seen the second half be usually flipping what happened in the first half, especially in this tournament. So, well,
listen, I'm just happy that Orlando City has a paternity in terms of the rivalries with NYCFC, right? That I'm happy about that, because
it was very poetic. Yeah, a paternity.
Listen, Miguel, you can't be that beautiful and speak like that. The rest of us need to have a shot in this world, okay?
When you look back at the history of these two teams, it's been incredible. And for a long time, you wouldn't, based on the results at the end of the season, when NYCFC has been obviously more successful and Orlando City has fallen short. But up until last couple of years, Orlando City had won 5 games. NYCFC had only won 1 game. There were some ties there. Now in the last couple of years, it's kind of evened out. And, when I look back at the notes, and it's an incredibly even rivalry. I mean, when you look at all competitions, U.S. Open Cup included, 6-5-5. That's really, really, really even. So, I'm happy that it looks like, and I don't want to talk too soon, because you always know, I don't want to jinx it, that it's going to continue to stay that way, and that makes me really happy, guys. I'm really, really sorry about that.
Okay.
It's all good.
But I feel like just in general, not having Maxi there, you're just seeing NYCFC play on by the lines, and it's like not having the ball in the middle, not being able to just not having someone direct the game a little bit is I think this is what's so jarring and why they look so uncomfortable.
It's also putting so much pressure on our wingbacks, which they're playing like right now, because they're also forced to be so offensive. I don't know. Matarita is going to be gassed by the 60th minute. I can't imagine.
I agree with you guys. And when I was saying before you guys joined, the lineups. Oh, here we go. Break. Oh, there it is.
Oh, foul on Dom.
Foul on Dom, right? But look, you guys know Juan's got that speed, and if you can get that ball in that space behind the fullback, in this case, because of the way NYCFC is playing, it's only playing to the strength of Juan, and because NYCFC is down on the score, they're going to have to take chances. That's only going to benefit Orlando City. So NYC is in a really, really tough situation at the moment because that's where Orlando City wants him right now, right? That you want NYCFC to start taking chances. You want NYCFC to start sending players forward because Orlando City has a lot of pace in the wings with Nani. You know, you guys saw what happened versus Inter Miami. If you can get him isolated on the flanks or really anywhere, he will make it happen.
In a blink of an eye, he's going to make you pay for it.
It's incredible, and that's been the key for me. You know, when I saw, because Pereira. It's also another player that's really talented for Orlando. He's going to be – I think that we haven't seen the best of Pereira. He's an incredible passer, incredible vision, just sees the game from a different optical. I just don't think that we've taken advantage of him as much. I think he has, had a lot of really, really nice passes, but unfortunately Orlando hasn't been able to capitalize. Otherwise, that guy should be in 5-6 assists already. And the key for me is how is Nani and Pereira going to work together? That is an incredibly interesting question for me because, when you look at Nani's a guy that wants the ball. He wants to take charge. He wants to take, he wants to take control of the game, and he tends to drop back when he's not getting the ball, gets out of position, and then suddenly he's far away from the goal, and that's not where you want him to be.
No, that is where I want him to be.
You're like, no, you got it wrong. Yeah.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Great.
That sounds honestly.
You want him to be out of the bubble.
Yeah.
But I think that, I think if he can, start to build that chemistry with Pereira, I think that's going to help Orlando tremendously because, you got the Junior Russo coming in from Brazil. He's got, great experience, played in China, successful in Brazil with Corinthians. I mean, this guy runs all over the field, close to, he's always getting into the box. He's always, just his tactical awareness is really, really good. And I think he brings, a lot of balance to Orlando City, and it makes it feel like a more complete team, especially through the middle. And, if you're strong in the middle, I think that you're already winning 1-0.
Well, NYCFC is giving you the middle of the field. I mean, they're clearly, like Christian said, only playing by the lines. They don't even want to go anywhere near the middle. It seems like they're trying to do triangles along the walls.
We got a set piece.
Well, at least we have a shot here.
It's going on the stats. Ah!
Come on.
Sí, pulpo!
Ay, Dios.
Oh, put your foot on it, dude.
Good chance there.
Yeah,
I don't have this much beer. We need to score a goal. Don't make me go to the bourbon.
Alexis, we've seen a bunch of teams come back from 2-0 down. We saw DC, we saw Minnesota, we saw LAFC, but
LAFC
I don't really count them. They've got some ballers on that team. but hey, NYCFC have depth as well on the bench. I mean, if you're playing in this match, I mean, you break it down from my playing days to 15 minutes. If you can get one before halftime, I don't know if this water break.
Good ball.
Oh, here we go.
Onside.
Why is no one on the far post?
Oh,
that was it.
Why was Medina not making a run for the far post?
That's the one you were talking about. That's the chance.
And that was onside?
He's got to put that away. He's got to. Unreal. It's on his right. It's on his right foot. No,
that was onside. That was onside too.
That line is high. What a ball.
Great ball.
Great ball.
Come on, man.
Yeah, no.
No way. No touch. Oh, wait. Fair deuce too.
Another chance.
Another chance right here. So
that's a good save there.
Well, look, it seems like the momentum has changed at the very least.
There we go.
Right?
There we go.
So if you could build on that.
But they need one before half.
But now this water break is gonna kind of kill that momentum a little bit. So this water break couldn't have come at a better time for Orlando City, because
or it gives Rodney a good chance to maybe sort of adjust the tactics.
The tactics are obviously working for you guys in the last 2 minutes. It's just the lack of sharpness in the end. You got to tuck that away, right? If you're Tati Castellanos, the 1v1. With a lot of times, although Calen, the more time you have, sometimes the more decisions you have to make, and suddenly it becomes more difficult. But I want to ask you guys a question. When you look at, because I think back of the times when Vieira left the team, Dominic Torrent came and took over. He had a tough time in the beginning, losing some games. There was a lot of criticism. And was he the right guy for the job? And he kind of changed some things around to an already successful team. I've wondered with the new coach with Ronnie Dyla coming into this team, NYCFC, that they were very, very unlucky to lose to Toronto FC in the playoffs last year off of 2 individual mistakes, but it's a very, very strong team. What do you see there? Do you see a Ronnie Dyla that's gonna? By the way, he's about to talk right now on TV, and you know what happens when the coaches talk.
It's the water break. Can you score a goal during a water break? I don't think it's allowed.
You know, Dom Dwyer's going to try it.
But so do you guys see like him kind of changing the tactics, or do you see him following kind of what NYCFC has been doing?
No, he has a completely different style of play, and this sort of no holds barred. It's very like AZ Alkmaar, you know, like defending. We'll get to it, you know, like everyone attack. It's sort of very different, and it's super different from. I mean, everyone got mad at Dome Torrent for making a couple adjustments to Patrick Vieira's system. This is a complete readjustment to everything. In fact, it doesn't even fit really within the City Football Group's sort of system that they like to play. So it's a complete change. And what we're seeing so far is either a lack of understanding of it, or maybe sort of something that needs even a little bit more adjustment to find a way for it to work in MLS. And I hate to say that because, you know, MLS fans and MLS folks like Calen, Carr, and yourself who sort of do announcing, there's always like the learning curve associated with MLS. But there really is. There's a certain athleticism that is displayed in this league that is not in some other leagues. And leaning against that, it's very difficult to play this sort of quick passing tiki-taka style when you've got teams that are built to run at you for 90 minutes. And I think that's a lot of what Ronnie is finding. I don't know that Ronnie had a lot of understanding of this league beforehand. And I mean, he's getting a little bit of a baptism by fire right now.
Makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
Well, Miguel, we need to change up the energy in the room right now. I hate to do this to you, man. But just for the sake of entertainment, we need NYCFC to kind of get on the ride. So
okay, yes, let's fix this.
We need help.
Rex is like, let us play with 12 men. Yeah.
This is a safe space now for you guys.
Well, listen, we gotta. At some point, the players just have to play. We've had these guys. There hasn't been too much turnover as far as player personnel. Ronnie Dyla's system maybe needs a little more time to get some kinks worked out. So the boys just have to play right now and get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, they've had a couple good looks.
I think they're doing the right thing. Look, they seem to have settled. Momentum has either shifted or evened out. One of the two. You decide which one. And honestly, I think it's an opportunity to play that dead ball game, which I know is nobody wants to do. But sometimes, and Calen, maybe you could speak to this, sometimes you just need to find a way to take control of the match or stop their momentum. Stop their don't let them feel so comfortable. And maybe this is a way to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Get in front of him. That's the guy who scored.
Oh man, what is happening?
There's a lot of mistakes that I think. Look, frankly, just Maxi clears up. There's just bad first touches, passes kind of going, where they just should not be going. Weird turnovers. I'm surprised, given how good NYCFC looked against Philadelphia, that they are this. They seem nervous on the ball. And the first goal didn't help. But it is not really,
Wait, are you suggesting the second goal helped?
The second goal fixed everything.
No way.
When I look at the tournament overall, I haven't seen a ton of. I mean, maybe LAFC with a couple of goals they scored where they're using maybe complex patterns of play and teams that have had a lot of time together. But right now, honestly, I think with the heat and humidity and the way this tournament has gone so far, it's really been oftentimes breakdowns and then just speed. And when I look at Orlando City when you look at both of their wings, can cause problems for anybody just by turning them and getting in behind. And that's where I've seen a bunch of the goals from Orlando coming from. It's just Nani and Mueller getting in behind. And even, that was a good tackle. Go ahead. Let's take a look at this.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a yellow for it.
The buck. I like that. Show a little fight here.
Mm-hmm.
A little gumption,
This situation right here really makes me wonder what the conversation was in getting rid of Ofori.
Okay.
All right.
I really would like to have him for this situation.
Yeah, it's in the midfield. Ofori was just incredible. Just again, a guy reliable, hold on to the ball, strong defensively.
And he battled. And
then a couple bangers that he got throughout the season. It was nice to have.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think
Ooh.
NYCFC wants to go
Nice
into a track meet. That's going to suit one team, and you're kind of looking for somebody to kind of put their foot on the ball, have a little bit of composure. Exactly what Maxi does for this team. And
I was going to say, you mean Moxie?
Yeah. So for anybody who's watching and just tuned into the stream, make sure to tune on 2DNA right now and watch the match alongside us. We will be here throughout the match. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody if things go south, but
Oh, come on, let's go!
Medina!
Jesus!
Medina, you beautiful son of a bitch!
Oh my God, we needed that.
hey,
Oh
what a
my
finish.
God!
Oh my
Go!
God! What a strike!
Yo!
What did I say before the half? Get one back. Take that, you
go.
beautiful Miguel Gallardo.
I mean, that was pure.
Go.
Look
That
at that
was-
technique.
What did we
That
tell
was-
you? 2-0 is the worst lead possible. Let's get it.
Yo.
Wow.
This is all we needed, right? Everybody relax. Let's see if we can get one more before the half.
We had to get rid of all the Orlando City people, and that's
Clearly.
The British accent screwed us from the beginning.
Oh, yes, let's go. We needed that.
Incredible.
Turnover.
Here we go. Here we go.
Create.
Slow down. Put pressure on him.
That's a terrible look.
But Medina just made a lot of doubters, be quiet for at least a moment.
sure.
Man, that was incredible.
actually that's going to be on Sports Center. That was
Without a doubt.
a strike.
Oh, come on.
My wife
Fight,
just told me.
fight,
she
fight.
was
Come on, why are you
Come on,
defending your own
yeah,
player?
But again, good hold up play, even against his own player.
Breaking the other way.
That's light.
Oh,
light.
come on.
That wasn't a
That's
yellow.
light.
Card?
No, that's light. Do not call.
I think the entire back line has a yellow at this point.
Are there, it's who we have? We have three at the back?
Stan's got one. Collins just got one.
Oh, yeah. I can see
And I think
that.
Matarita got one in the beginning of the match.
Might card that.
I'm still trying to figure out how Medina did that. That was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's the thing about him. He has these moments where you're like, this guy's going to be a star. And
it's the flashes of brilliance that really draw you in. But again, I mean, to me, I think it's honestly just a confidence thing. And if he can build that confidence and play, we don't need him at that level every second of the game. But if he could do that, if he could do something close to that once or twice a match, that's just gonna not only build his confidence, but it's gonna build the confidence of the fans in him. So
Yeah.
Also, we should keep in mind that's the first goal for NYC of the MLS season.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
We did it.
we got that off our back, baby.
Oh man.
It's a good
So
first
necessary.
one. A good way to start.
You know what? Sometimes you wait to really build the tension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, somebody mark.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ooh.
let's go.
This-
Get it up.
This three at the back is scaring me with how fast and how wide. this
Get out.
thing can
Go. Oh.
Ooh.
All right.
go. Ooh. They
I
look
would
like they're
not
going to
like to
cuddle on
slide.
that slide.
Yeah, I would not like to slide into Janssen. No, thank you.
No, the guy's built like a Midtown building in Manhattan.
Oh man.
All right, this is the moment right now where your skill players take over. A little razzle dazzle, little moment of magic. This is where A Bear, Tati Castellano does something big.
Yeah, I need Tati to use that dark arts he has, man.
That CONCACAF, he's real CONCACAF.
Long
saw
move for no reason. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We didn't need that.
I said skill players.
Heat check.
Come on, boys.
Wow.
Yeah,
take another look at
it too. Like,
Just
I'm-
didn't even
I'm
think
not-
about it.
I'm not understanding why we haven't been able to find Aber in the box. That was a go-to for us last season, and we should be able to replicate that to some degree.
I mean, if you look at it, A Bear. Oh, come on.
Boo! Get him out of here.
Ah,
Get him out.
We were doing so good while you were gone.
Is he still on mute?
I was really enjoying you guys be very romantic about your team and that goal, and like you've never seen anything like that before. But I have to tell you, credit where it's due. What a banger! Wow,
Yeah, dude.
that was
You gotta
was
give it up. Gotta give it up.
that was incredible. I mean, the way he brought it down with his chest, he didn't think about it twice. He's one of those. As soon as you make contact with the ball, you know it's going in the back of the net, and so it was really good. So
We've
then,
seen momentum swing halfway through this game. Maybe halftime will fall at a good time for Oscar Pereira and City here. But
Yeah.
what a banger from Medina.
So,
No
so what's the mood now, Taylor? Are you? I know you were feeling confident, flying sky high. Are you still feeling good? I mean, still some chances going both ways here.
Oh, the bar.
There you go. Oh, hit the bar.
Yeah, it was saved, but I think
You gotta touch on it.
it hit up the bar. It looked like he did. You got to save.
No need to panic from me, Calen. I mean, we just hit the bar again there, but it's free flowing now, end to end stuff. So this is all at its finest. You know,
I mean, NYCFC is not. They're going for it. Obviously, there's going to be some gaps defensively, but they're taking those risks, man.
Yeah, I mean, NYCFC, a point would be okay for them. They'd take it at this point, but I think they really would like to get a win. And a point for Orlando. Now, it's obviously still early, but and they're in the driver's seat, but they're in a lot better position here.
Yeah, no need to panic. I think.
Yeah,
it's been a good half in the main.
but you know what I love though? It's a good game. It's a good game of soccer,
Really
and I think that football for you, Taylor.
Ball laid off.
Oh,
God!
hey!
Deflection.
Yeah, deflected. Yeah, I mean I felt overall that the tournament the level has definitely gone up.
Yeah, and I think that you kind of wanted to get the nerves out of it. You didn't really know what to expect, right? And even if you didn't play the first game just yet, you see other teams play. You kind of start to get comfortable with the environment. And I think we're seeing better and better quality as we move on. And this game has been, I mean, the first 15 minutes of Orlando City were, Barcelona 2015.
Hand? Mano.
No,
Shout for handball. I didn't see it.
No, senor. It was a shoulder, guys.
Look, when all the players say it happened, I believe them. Okay, that's my rule. Oh, we had a chance.
Oh no! Oh, why didn't go with his head?
What a save! The patience there.
What's up with these long balls?
Oh, they're working.
Yeah, we need halftime right now.
Yeah, we need halftime to go right now.
4 minutes. Hang in there, fellas. 4 minutes.
That's going to be 4 really, really long minutes.
Hold on. Have a look at this.
Oh, yo, no. That was not shoulder. That was not the shoulder. That was
on. Are they gonna have a look at that?
Hell yeah!
Oh,
that's
yeah.
A pen.
That hit the explorer.
They're not checking it.
Oh wow!
No, it's too late.
Ridiculous.
It's not a handball anyway.
Against Aston Villa, they waved
Sacco, right? If Sacco's goal, if that didn't count, that has to be a penalty. That's absurd. I am mad at Taylor and Miguel specifically. Okay.
I'll tell you what, but you know what? It's a wide open game. Seeing Orlando City hit him on the counter attack. NYCFC starting to send numbers forward. I love Orlando City also when they get on the counter. You got purple shirts running to try to get in the box.
Yeah.
It's exciting stuff.
Really good.
I wanted to get another look at that chance because I thought was it Castellanos? I thought he had an opportunity maybe to go with his head. He tried to go with his foot. It's hard to get a lot on that as opposed to really
he could have had a Lindsey Horan moment.
That's a good shout.
He's looked the most likely the last 5 minutes, Tati Castellanos.
Yeah, well, these are ones where you get a number of chances like that, and if you don't end up getting one, you can't sleep at night. So he'll feel like at least, especially with that breakaway and then a couple others, he should have one at least.
Well, there you go. Here we go.
Oh, good stop. Nah. No, what is this?
But you start to see, as soon as the ball goes out wide for NYCFC, you see Orlando City players trying to defend the box, but then you see NYCFC players waiting for those second balls outside the box. That's like that first goal came, and then Tati Castellanos had another one.
They are playing.
That's
way up.
Here we go.
But look, Chanel is he's playing basically defensive mid. He's so high up. He's pressing Nani.
My question is, how long are they going to be able to keep this up physically?
Well, Orlando didn't. If they're playing
going for that second.
Miguel, you said this is Orlando's same lineup as last match, right?
Yeah, absolutely, same lineup. And so you got some speed on the bench. You got Benji Michel, somebody come in and impact the game right away. He's got a lot of pace. You can get him on the counter attack. You got Tesho Akindele too, somebody who just signed his contract extension. Very happy about that for him because he came off a great year, the best year in his career, scoring 10 goals for Orlando City last season. So he's motivated to come in and impact the game. And you got Sebas Mendes in the middle of the field. I feel like he's somebody that can come in and kind of take charge of the midfield. He's a very good defensive player. He's a ball winner. And then in terms of the possession of the ball, he can give Orlando City a little bit of breathing room, help in the possession as well, to maybe try to control the tempo a little bit more and not let NYCFC dictate so much of the ball at the moment because, they're starting to build. They're starting to get numbers forward. Tenehome is getting high. It's delivering some quality balls into the box.
Yep.
You forgot to mention Orlando cheating with a handball. a lot of stuff happening.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I thought it was worth a look. I definitely thought it was worth another look. But it didn't. I guess it was checked, but not reviewed.
Here we go.
No.
Here we go.
Here
we go. By the way, the speed.
Boy, oh boy.
Also got Daryl DK waiting in the wings for his debut as well. Haven't we? A wild card later in the
Dude.
Who do you guys think would challenge Juan on a race in Major League Soccer? I'm looking to hear somebody from another club maybe give us some competition here. Yeah, just on a race, on a 100-meter dash.
Who's
Albert Ellis?
Who's the new guy on Atlanta? I can't remember. Just came from Liga MX.
Mesa?
Jürgen Damm.
Jürgen Damm. Great TikToker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his biggest highlight. Wow.
That is one of the most disrespectful things ever said about a soccer player.
Listen, he's a fantastic player. I've been following his career with Pachuca, with Tigres. He came in with big expectations. As you guys know, it's really hard to break into the lineup with Tigres. There's a lot of pressure in that club. 40,000 people in that stadium every game. It's a lot to deal with. And you see in Celarayan right now, playing free, playing with a lot of confidence. He came from Tigres, not getting quite the minutes that he was expecting. So I really think this is going to be a great opportunity for Jürgen Damm to really deliver what the potential that we've been talking about for many years for the Mexican national team.
No one's happier about Celarayan than Giassi Zardes. No one. Giassi Zardes was out there looking like OG Ronaldo,
Nah. Yeah, that Columbus crew. They look the real deal, And when you have a player like Nagby as well, controlling so much in the midfield, it just gives the players forward more freedom and more confidence to do their thing because they know they have somebody like Nagby who, this guy can, he covers so much ground. He's so calm on the ball, so poised. I think that Celarayan, starting this way, I think is going to give him a lot of confidence. And so, I agree with everybody that the comments on Columbus Crew. It's a team that's looking like they can do some serious damage.
And I've said this from the beginning. I don't know how it does in the playoffs, but in a regular season, Caleb Porter's system is really tough to beat, especially if they're all clicking. And boy, do they look like they're clicking really early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, adding Nagby as well is a big. It's a big
part of the puzzle, right? It's a big part of the puzzle. Also, too, for Artur, because that also gives him more freedom for Artur to get involved.
Yeah.
You see, he's a box to box. He gets involved in the box. But when you got somebody like Nagby there to cover for you, you can really do some things. Calen,
you could put Artur, Nagby, and Zelarayan up against any three in MLS. That is a really strong core, and then Giassi, I think Giassi might win the Golden Boot of this tournament.
He might do it without even trying. They're passing the ball to his foot.
Yeah.
Imagine losing Federico Higuain and not even skipping a beat. That's insane to think about.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's be honest here. They play, no disrespect, they play Cincinnati, who, their defense is, we've seen better defenses, for lack of a better word, but again, they have some real weapons that will be interesting to see. But that team will be designed to play for Zardes, right? Zardes is gonna, as long as he's making the right runs and he has that composure that he's shown so far, I think he's gonna bank some goals because
I mean, but this is why Craig Berhalter brings him in. It's because maybe he has a bad first touch, or a first touch that's inconsistent, or maybe he can't necessarily take anyone on one-on-one and break them down consistently. But what he can do is put himself in the right position, and he can get himself in a position to score as long as you give him a good service. And that's exactly what Columbus is doing for him.
Who exactly is Craig Berhalter? Never heard of him. Is it the other brother or what?
You don't know all the assistants that work for you at soccer? Wow, you think of yourself as a soccer fan.
I don't know if you guys are still watching the stream, but it is halftime right now, and they're just replaying the mixed Discord opening goal of this one. Were any of you at this match, or what are your memories from the first match between your two clubs?
So this
was the first goal scored in NYCFC history.
We were at Nevada
Had a
Smith.
beauty at that.
While we're on it, what happened to Mixed Discord, the NYC guys? Where's he at?
I think he's still with Man City. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the front line right next to Aguero. You haven't seen him?
Yeah. I think he got paid in the one scarf he used to take the photo. That was his
Hey, that's one more photo than I got. Yeah,
he's in what country is he in? I forgot where he's playing.
He's in Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew it was somewhere in the Far East.
Yeah, he's in Korea.
65,000 people in this game for
Incredible
at the Citrus Bowl back then. I don't know if you guys remember late equalizer from Kaká of a free kick. Wasn't the nicest goal, but they all count the same. And
the most beautiful deflection in the history of Orlando City.
But the atmosphere in that stadium when that ball hit the back of the net was, I mean, ridiculous, and you could feel it even just watching the game. It was amazing. So. Yeah. Well, what about David Villa? Huh? What a player he was.
What a player.
What about this challenge from Marley and Calen?
He was like, "What? Ball."
That was so nasty. Here it is. Yeah. There we go. What a goal. The intention, the technique to put that in the low bottom corner was ridiculous.
I mean, his ability to know that if he deflected it off of two players, it would go.
It's like playing pool. He knew that's how you needed to hit it.
What I remember most about this match is just the unfortunate marketing campaign of "Fill the Bowl," which is
not ideal.
That is not.
Can be taken different ways.
Yeah. I was gonna say, explain yourself, please.
Do you really want me to? Because I have photos. I have photos I've sent to doctors.
No, but it was fantastic. I mean, you want to see that, right? Because back in the day when I played at that very same stadium. The most people we ever got in there was about 20,000 people for a USL Championship final, and it was incredible. So I just couldn't imagine what 65,000 people felt like. And I think what the coolest thing about that was how the community came together, because a lot of Orlando City fans right now became fans at that game, because that day was just like a cool thing to do in Orlando, fill the bowl, people that weren't thinking dirty, they would, let's go to the stadium and let's get a lot of people in there and let's be part of something, of a movement. And that was incredible, and that kind of started a lot of supporters. When you ask them, how did you become a fan of Orlando City? They'll tell you it was because of that game, because they went to that game, felt the energy. Maybe even people have never even played soccer, and they became huge fans, and then now have a lot of friends in the community. And, in the Ruckus, ILF, shout out to those guys, incredible supporter groups. So it was really cool to see. And it's always been great games versus NYCFC, especially the one before this one. Sorry, guys. The running of the wall, the U.S. Open Cup.
Oh, that was the penalties. I remember that, where they were like going around. Yeah,
it was. I mean, it was epic. We remember one of the top moments in Orlando City's history in Major League Soccer, because I don't know if you guys remember. They tied the game, and NYCFC tied it like towards the last minutes of the stoppage time and in overtime. And then they went to penalties. they choose to go to the goal away from the supporters group. And then, I mean, you saw just people running on the other side of the stadium, and it was incredible. And it was such a big night for Orlando City that.
To answer your question, yeah, we do remember. And we
try not to.
Try to forget, right?
Yeah, we really try.
I think the one credit I do want to give Orlando fans is that, you know, for as much as the team has struggled over the last few years since they've started, it's such dedicated fans.
Absolutely.
That's something that, you know, you don't get in many markets, and it's really impressive. And look, I've been to Orlando before, and you know, if you don't want to do something in or around Disney, or you don't work for Disney, you're kind of there's not much to do outside of that. I know it's a fun place, don't get me wrong, but I come from New York City, which has a ton of stuff to do. But seeing how everyone is sort of committed to something like Orlando City and the passion around it, when Christian and I went and visited, it was amazing. So shouts to you guys.
Yeah, all of our guys in Orlando City, UK, there is at least 10 of us up watching this. And what is the time now? Something silly in the morning, but they're up watching it. And
why do so many people from England vacation in Orlando? We're Americans. We don't even vacation there.
Have you ever been to Florida? It's all New Yorkers. It's all New Yorkers.
No, it's all retired New Yorkers.
we just want to shop and eat. That's basically it. We're easily amused.
Really? Because I remember I went to Orlando for a conference when I was in the corporate world, and it was all English people. I'm like, what are y'all doing here? It's like, have you heard of Miami? It's not that far. No offense. I'm Cuban. The only reason I brought it up.
Taylor, you grew up going to Orlando visiting, right? And then that's kind of how do you have a club you support over in the UK?
I'm a massive Arsenal fan. And my partner, she supports Aston Villa. So every weekend we try and get the trifecta of wins. It's very difficult at this. But it's been a good start. So fingers crossed.
Do you see more fans growing over abroad, or at least interested in MLS? I do the Sky Sports Hits, and every once in a while, and I got to go over there, and we hosted a viewing party, and we found some Red Bulls fans. Sorry guys, but we found some Red Bulls fans. Even I found a Houston Dynamo supporter in Swansea, and I was like, "How do you exist? How does this happen?"
Honestly, there are MLS supporters in every corner of the UK, and we've been doing this for 5 years, and we have seen it grow and grow and grow, and there's so much interest in it now. We're lucky enough that the broadcasters back home in England, they show regular MLS games. They're showing every game in this tournament. The access is brilliant, first and foremost. But like you said, there's a Houston Dynamo UK, there's UK NYCFC. My buddy Barney runs that. We've been doing a lot of banter before this game today. And it's just grown and grown and grown. And the guys, they're not just passive fans as well. These guys fly over across the pond, They go to the games as well. So I think MLS is an amazing diversion for guys back home in the UK. I'm an Arsenal fan. A lot of these guys support teams, that have their fair share of, relegation and, not so great. They're looking for a diversion. And we've seen in this game so far today that, it's end to end. It's exciting football. And that's what we all want at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think there's at least some more unpredictability that MLS offers over the Premier League, that Premier League fans, if they can get past that, it's the word soccer is there, they can at least appreciate I don't know what the result is going to be in any given match, in any given MLS match, as opposed to a Premier League match. So that part of it is at least pretty fun.
Absolutely. But for me, there's a fantastic Dennis Bergkamp quote out there about belonging. And Orlando City, for me, like I say, I'm a guy from the UK. I am family with these guys. Miguel knows that, we go there every year. We get spoiled rotten. We have amazing experiences with the fans. And it's that sense of belonging for me that has been the most addictive thing. Following an MLS franchise, 3,000 miles across the pond. Being on Twitter, we've had our Orlando UK Twitter account for 5 years, and that's the only platform I'm on. But the amount of conversations we have around this club on a daily basis, it's incredible, and we love it.
That's great.
That's cool. Rox, I wanted to ask you about Apollo culture. Can you?
Yes, sir.
On that again?
Yeah, this is halftime, so I think it's safe now.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, sorry. I think we get. Yeah, Orlando scored.
Last time was a bit rough.
Orlando. Yeah, it was like the coaching interview. Sorry, man.
But Apollo Culture Club is first and foremost a soccer lifestyle brand, but we're using it as a youth empowerment vehicle. So as I mentioned earlier before we went live, I'm actually in the process of putting together a program with Soccer Roof in Brooklyn, and we're going to have something hopefully to launch in September of this year. We're going to be doing some interesting things with bringing kids out and exposing them to not just play, but some careers around the game as well. So we're super excited about that, and I'll actually be reaching out to you, Calen, to get you involved with that.
Cool. I'm down.
Soccer Roof is I'm from Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and it was it's really, really cool to see just the fact that something like that exists where I grew up is just kind of unbelievable. So cool.
I went there with Christian, which I'm born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. So like to see things happening in Newark now where it's becoming more of an artistic hub is crazy to me, because I'm like, do you know what happened to me on this corner? It's like, I got mugged at gunpoint right here, and y'all are just painting this mural. Like, I suggest you watch out for the dude I know. But like, we were walking with Christian, and Christian was just like having this moment of like, what was it, like 4th Ave? Is that what, or 1st Ave?
Oh, I mean, Soccer Roof is like on 1st Ave, basically.
1st Ave, but he was like, dude, we didn't even know 1st Ave existed growing up, because no one would dare venture to that part of town. So to see these neighborhoods take something that was at one point, you know, a moment of fear and use it to build a sport that brings the entire world together is something that, you know, Christian and I, when we started, we said our first goal is to build value in the American soccer player and to build the fandom of the sport. And to see that other people are also doing that at the same time is a beautiful thing. And we like to try to combine with them as much as possible.
Yeah. It's a beautiful facility, rooftop, lounge inside. Excellent place to be, hang out, watch games. They do watch parties.
We did comedy there. We did stand-up there. Yeah.
I missed that. I really wanted to be there, but I couldn't make it that night.
Yeah.
Man.
So always something happening, really cool spot. And they're now a partner.
Apollo Culture. Follow it on all platforms. Yeah, I guess. Hey, we got our bases covered. We got, you know, Newark to Brooklyn to the UK to Orlando. I'm here in Atlanta. I don't know. I'm not really doing my part, but when I'm gonna come support. When I come back, I'm gonna come support. So
if you want Apollo Culture to pop, you got to get Calen a relatively tight shirt that he could pose in front of Graffiti with.
I don't know, man. Quarantine, post quarantine, you might need to size up a little bit.
Get him a mask, yo. Get him a mask.
He's got to have that hat too. The hat. That's the one.
If he walks on a train track at 120 frames per second, the internet will blow up.
He'll go crazy.
You know me too well. So it looks like we have a sub happening here at halftime. It looks like Jerry Trotty coming in.
Oh yes, Sir Lucius left foot. Let's get it.
That's our lawyer. That's our lawyer. The firm is Ismail Tajuri and Shradi. Yeah.
This man's your impact sub, isn't he? He's the guy you always lean to when it's not going your way, right?
He's
a player. This guy, he can create magic. That's for sure.
And he's successful versus Orlando City. He does really well when he plays against Orlando City. Hopefully today is the exception, but it's a guy that he's so dangerous. He's just a really good player.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how the second half starts. I mean, Orlando came out so hot in the beginning. Now probably going to be a little bit more cautious. I'll be interested to see these first 5-10 minutes to see if New York City can get off to a good start.
So I mean, Medina came in for Goodman there, Aronson. So obviously, offense is on Ronnie's mind, right? So again, I think it's going to be just another end to end. I think it's going to be wild second half.
Expect a lot of counters from.
Correct. I agree. I mean, he does have to think about getting that goal, and he's got that urgency because they didn't get the result. I mean, they don't have any points right now, but you also got to think about, you know, what that's going to do to you know, your counterattacking opportunities for Orlando.
Good save from Sean Johnson.
Oh, what a save!
I mean, at least give us a shot. I
want to see a goal. Oh man, he's
Sean.
UCF here from Orlando. Yes, I want to see a goal from Pereira, man.
Lovely flick, Annie. That class.
That was it. That back heel for him.
It's the guy.
That's a great save, by the way. That's a great save.
Those are hard to find.
Where did Pereira come from? Pereira.
Krasnodar in Russia.
Krasnodar in Russia, and he was voted the best player in the club's history over there. He was there for I think about 6 years.
Yep.
We got a foul in the box. What was that?
Goal! Just kidding. Little bike from Matinho.
Mauricio
Yes.
Pereira is an interesting one for me.
Oh, let it go out.
Come on. You got to pick that up.
He's got pedigree, Mauricio Pereira. He's played Europa League before, very experienced. I don't think we've seen the best of him at Orlando so far, but he's going to get minutes now, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. He's a quality player, like Miguel says.
I'm impressed that he won Player of the Year and he's not a Russian dude. That's hard to do in the Russian league.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic. He's that old school number 10. He's that guy that if you can get the ball in between, their holding midfielders and the center backs, he can create if you allow him to turn.
Come on. Close him down.
Here we go.
Sean.
A lot of space.
Somebody close him down, please.
I understand staying compact as a club.
That was,
Dom Dwyer doing Dom Dwyer things there.
no, but Tinnerholm shouldn't have gone down.
That's something they say, okay?
My goodness.
I think we usually with Dom Dwyer we talk about how do I say this? Ishthousery.
He's certainly a very intense player. He's a battler. But I tell you what, if you're a center back, you hate playing against him.
Also, he's the type of player you hate when he's not on your team, but you absolutely love when he's on your team.
He's one of those.
Oh, as long as he's banging goals, yes. Then it can be frustrating when obviously he's not scoring goals. But as I said, I think this year he's coming in with a lot of positive energy, looking to have a really good year. But he will get a lot of opportunities with Pereira and obviously Dwyer and Chris Mueller. And then you got Juan making overlapping runs and getting some quality services into the box. And then when you have a midfield like we were talking about Junior Urso that gets involved in the box, that takes away some attention from Dom Dwyer. Hopefully he can capitalize on those chances.
And you can catch Dom Dwyer this Thursday at 8 p.m. on Football Sports. Wow, the Cooligans.
You guys have a show?
Yeah, he was awesome.
The TV show now. I don't know if anyone knows that. On Football Sports.
Man, I'm so bitter because I signed up for Football Sports and then I saw you guys had a Cooligans discount and I was like, oh man. Is it too late to submit a receipt or what? Come on.
Is this retro? You're on the phone with the customer service. No, I know those.
I know them. Yeah. All right, big chance here.
Come on. Bing, bing, bing. Come on.
Was it cleared? Yeah, it was cleared.
Looks like deflection here. Yeah, going to the Dom point, I mean, he definitely will at least draw attention, which that is going to cause the center backs to collapse, which is, I think, part of the reason why you're seeing so much space and joy on the wings for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's he can occupy two guys, right? Because he's always on the run. He's always, 50-50 balls. He's always going to challenge. It's a lot of the goals from Orlando City too come from him just kind of popping into that space, playing the ball back, get the ball out wide, and then making those runs on the first post that attract players. And then you got second runners coming in behind to put the ball in the back of the net. So he does a lot of work. Unfortunately, forwards are always going to be judged by the
Good hustle, Tati. Good hustle.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
I've never seen a player nutmeg somebody with his own body. That was impressive.
Yo, Tati
come on.
Calm down, boy. Calm down.
That's good, though. We got to apply some pressure.
I like the group chat, by the way, guys. That's what the name of it. We were trying to think of what you should name the show. Maybe it's the group chat. It's just
keep it simple.
Keep it simple, yeah. But throw everybody in at once, see what happens.
I like this.
Hey.
I also think this half happens to be a little bit more even.
Yeah, very even so far.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the Ismail Tajori Shradi change or if it's simply just a carryover from the momentum change in the first half.
Here we go.
Down.
Yeah. I would say, Alexis, I think it's just we know this team. We watch this team, and we know that they know when they have to really buckle down and get some work done. And I think they just decided that they absolutely cannot lose this game. So even if they have to lose by some off chance, they're going to go down swinging.
I'm interested to see, though, what subs are going to be here pretty soon to try to impact the game. Calen, I'll ask you, how do you think this 5 subs rule has kind of changed kind of some of the because I feel like coaches are using it differently. What I've seen is, I think it's been a bad idea when coaches use those subs for center backs. It hasn't worked out.
Toronto FC.
I think there's It just, not just them, but it's just it's so difficult to come into this game and get adapted and get adjusted right away as a center back that it just hasn't worked out well. I think when you play, attacking players, they're coming in with fresh legs, they impact the game right away. But I've been very interested to see how different coaches are using the substitutions, though.
What does Dom Dwyer have? His Roku remote with him? What is that?
I honestly don't think you could play this tournament without 5 subs. I just
Yeah, absolutely not.
I
finish a match.
I happen to think I think it's going to stick around for a lot longer than people expect.
I think
it gives the biggest rub for me against soccer in the past has been that the coach is ineffective during a match. He's really only effective. He or she is really only effective during a half.
Boy, oh boy.
When they can make changes and then subs. That's it. But this really allows you to play chess. 5 subs gives you it gives your depth a lot of chances, and it really gives your coach much more of a say on what happens on the field.
Yeah, and I mean, it can change the game, right? And I think there's a little bit of pressure on the coaches now to use them. How are you going to use them?
But did you see Top Ramos versus Bob Bradley? That was a chess match.
Oh, man.
On substitutions. That added another layer to the sport that I don't think I've seen since Van Hall took out his keeper for penalties. Remember that?
I think he even said it right in this interview when they asked him about the subs. He said, I have to see what they do to then figure out how do I counteract that, which is obviously that's what coaches, they always do that, right? But no, for sure, it's been really interesting, and for Orlando City, it paid off last time. You brought in Benji Michel, you brought in Sebas Mendes, you brought in Andres Perea, a young Colombian player, new player for Orlando City, and I mean, I think Orlando City started to create some chances when Miami started to build in confidence. But
what do you guys think about the water breaks?
Well,
I'm a little bit in between on those.
For me, it should have been the first 2 games and then do away with it.
But the heat doesn't go away.
It's been used all over the world too, right? I mean, there's definitely a precedent for it. So that I don't think that's something new to this tournament.
I think, Calen, you've seen it help and hinder some teams. I mean, it's another facet of these games now, isn't it? You've seen the momentum fade away for some teams, and you've seen other teams, regroup and have a chance to kind of go as a second win. So it's added a new element for sure.
Good ball.
Yeah, like you said, I think it also allows coaches to make some adjustments, right? It's difficult sometimes to try to make adjustments from the sideline. When you try to get information across to the guy on the opposite side of the flank.
Onside.
Come on.
Oh, come on, man.
You can't get held.
Yeah, I think maybe just as a former winger, I would prefer to keep the coaches on the sideline, not have to go and always have a chat. It's like once the match starts, it's
is that the type of player you were in terms of that?
I was coachable, but I think there is this part of it for me where it's like the players have to figure it out on the pitch, and when you stop once, when you stop twice, and then you add the subs, it starts to be a little bit more like an NBA timeout.
So it's best to get used to it because in the Qatari World Cup, I'm assuming they're going to have 4 or 5 water breaks per half.
Yeah, they're going to have
sunburn
playing breaks.
Yeah.
So would you say that? So you enjoyed playing more for a coach that kind of gave you the instructions before the game. You had your game plan, you trained it, and then during game time, it's you making the decisions. It's you, kind of fending for your own. Or did you enjoy a coach that was kind of behind your back, just kind of moving you during the game?
And to piggyback on that question, what do you want to be in the second half? Running near your coach or on the other side of the field?
Let's go.
Depends on which coach I played for, but I would say most of the time,
let's make some magic.
I prefer my privacy. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Go on the other side. Yeah, I think the coach's job, obviously there's going to be adjustments throughout, but if you want to change the formation or if you want to give like a note, I don't necessarily know if you need to be brought in to do that.
It's a rough challenge on that.
That was rough.
Some would say red card.
Some
crazy.
I meant to say to you, man, congrats on your Espanol interview with El Chicharito, man. That was highly
edited, Miguel. Highly edited.
But look, did it kind of bring you, just doing an interview with him? Did it kind of make you feel like, I really want him to succeed even more than you probably did before? Because you got to know him. Did you get that sense?
Yeah, he was a really nice guy, and I think from all of the interviews you've seen, you could never question his honesty. He's like a very forthcoming, honest guy. You feel like when he's talking to you, he's like he is telling you the truth, and he didn't shy away from the pressure. Even when
Was he going for the goal?
I think he was angling towards that far post too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was weird.
That was Nani.
Even last night he was like, I told the guys on the team, this one's on me. He didn't take his chances, and I think I definitely respected that. So I was happy to see him get off.
Good hold.
Castellanos
Like this.
following me. Castellanos.
It's not a corner?
No,
No.
Oh, it's offside.
Great call, referee. Great call.
Bear has to show up now. This is an opportunity for him to really put his mark on this match.
Did he get?
I don't know if that was off.
Bear got a hat trick in Costa Rica. He didn't need to start the season.
Yeah, we were there. It was amazing.
Yeah. He's just
If only we could play San Carlos every match.
Plus, Miguel, the other thing was I got to go to Spain for the first time. So
I saw that, man, and that looked awesome. Did you get to have some paella, some sangria, some of that stuff?
yeah, I did. I also went to a flamenco show, which was the highlight.
Did you try? Did you try to dance flamenco?
No, I was just glass of wine and chilling. Yeah, no, it was fun though. I was a little bit like, LA is nice, but I don't know, man. Are you sure about this? But no.
Yeah.
If you like flamenco, listen to a track from Rosalia called Juro Que. That's great. It's like a hip hop flamenco track. That's awesome. So highly recommend it.
Yeah, I like her. I'll check that one out.
Dope.
Yeah.
She killed it on the Jack Boys album. So
Yeah, I keep Malamente on my playlist.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the videos are pretty sick too.
All right. Got a chance.
Not enough pace. Oh, he gets it.
yeah, he does.
Oh,
His foot on it.
Oh, he's got it through.
Offside.
coming up.
Is it James Sands? James Sands.
We need a water break.
Imagine Sands scores, dog, on a turn. I mean, how lit would that be?
We need
Wait. Is there an issue? Is there an
No,
issue?
another sub, I
water
think.
break. Water break.
Oh.
Coming
No,
up,
it
coming
looks
up
like
to the hour mark.
yeah.
Miguel, what, if you're Oscar Pereira, Miguel,
Now he switched.
what are you thinking? Of?
Okay.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Taylor. I'm not really watching the game from an analyst point of view. I'm just enjoying talking to you guys and then looking at the emotion. So I'm not really looking at what needs to happen. What I do know is that obviously NYCFC's got all the momentum and they're putting all the chips on the table at the moment. You know, it seems like one of these games, either they score in the next 10 minutes or Orlando City is going to get them on the counter. And that's, you know, we've seen that, you know, that happens all the time. But it seems like right now NYCFC is all in, looking to get that equalizer. Here we go.
Dwyer for Tesho.
You know
And
what?
now-
You know what makes Tesho so dangerous? Is he's played for this coach for a long time. We interviewed him when we were in Dallas.
Yeah.
So he really knows what Oscar Pereira wants to do. So
Yeah. He made him look with this first year. I mean, he was a rookie of the year under Oscar Pareja, Tesho. So, if anybody was delighted that Oscar Pareja was coming to Orlando City, it was him because he knows what he wants from him. You know, I talked to him. Here we go. And one of the things that Tesho's going to do is, listen, anytime any of the midfielders has the ball, he's going to be on the run. He's not going to battle. You know, he's not going to go on a 50-50 chance with players. He's going to be on the run, and that's going to –
he's going to give you a target. That's what makes him so dangerous.
That's going to give you a target, you know, and he's going to open up space if he doesn't get the ball. Again, he's not Mother Teresa unselfishly running for other people. He's hoping to get the ball, but what that does is obviously open up space for other players. And Orlando City, you know, has scored some goals because of his movement, and he's a really unselfish guy. And defensively, he works incredibly hard. So, you know, this is hopefully he can make an impact here.
Come back. No,
No,
why did you release that? Come on.
Dom
Terrible
Dwyer
decision.
actually said the same thing, which is an interview that's going to air on Football
On
Sports.
Football Sports.
Miguel,
okay.
where are you from?
Mexico.
Because you hit that pareja.
I know.
I was the only one who heard that.
He hit that with such energy.
Oh, that crowd was coming.
I heard the eagle leave the flag and soar.
He hit it all the way to the Disney Princess Castle. Wow, that's a hard finish,
terrible.
right? Because it's
Just
coming,
terrible.
it's coming behind him. It's got.
I will
much
say,
space.
can we just say this though? That's the most Medina would contribute. So he already got a goal in this match. He's looking pretty
done.
good.
We've seen the best and the worst of it. For sure.
Yeah.
He can leave the bubble now.
Yeah,
Well, to be fair, that was a really, really tough ball to connect well.
it is. It was behind him.
A little bit behind him, and then the pace of the ball as well. I just don't know what else he could have done. Maybe try to control it, but if he can control that, then
Easy. Not enough.
You're already seeing the quality of Ismail Tajuri-Shradi and why you should.
But you know, one thing that's happening.
No, he won that.
Now that I
Clean,
watched
clean.
I like him better. I like Tajuri Shradi a little better on the right, on that inverted way.
Definitely.
Then he
Definitely.
steps in and is able to, instead of taking it to the end line, he's cutting in on goal because the way he strikes a ball.
Yeah,
is special.
And that's when, and look, you looked at the game in the first 45 minutes, and there was a big influence of the fullbacks for Orlando City, particularly on the right-hand side by Juan. And we talked about the heat, and you can't keep up this for 90 minutes. And you're starting to see how now NYCFC is having success on those flanks. Moutinho on the other side is a great football player, great possession. But
I stayed in?
Wow.
How the
Here
hell?
we go.
What?
How did
Here we go.
Hey.
Get that. Look at that. Tesha chasing everything.
All right, Sean Johnson.
Oh, that's
Nice
fine.
hook on that ball.
I'm
With
on
the
that.
footwork.
I was surprised he didn't come around for the 1-2 there.
Hit him with the okey doke.
Yeah.
The Alice band's off for Nani now. He means business. Nani.
So what does NYCFC have on the bench right now that they can bring in to just kind of
So
I'm
for
the only
me,
one who's going to say Zalalem, but Zalalem can change this match from the
Okay.
center of the pitch.
Gary
I
Mackay,
thought-
Steven with some pace.
That's true. On
He's
the
good
wing
on the-
too.
He came in last game. He was, he's got some pace. So I called the NYCFC games for the Florida Cup in January. That seems like decades ago, and they were playing with a lot of their young guys. De Rosario's kid was playing up top. He looked fantastic. Scored a couple goals. Against some top players. So you guys know NYCFC's done a good job with the youth. I mean, they're the national champions, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they got some great young players, great young talent. So that's why I'm asking you guys: is there a young guy there that we don't know a lot about that he can come in and contribute? Although NYCFC right now is on the front foot.
I think
Justin
Scally,
Hawk.
yeah, Justin Hawk and Scally
He's
are
a
the
very good
two.
player. Yeah.
But I don't know that
Yeah.
they're game changers in this situation.
Absolutely not.
So now you're seeing Seba Mendes coming to the field, and I think he will have a big impact and try hopefully controlling those attacks from NYCFC, because he's somebody that, even though he's a midfield, he's a midfield player. He's somebody that can come to both sides of the field and help out Moutinho and Juan, and defensively.
Yeah.
He does so much running for the team.
What about Matricia?
Yeah, what?
Matricia, is he hurt?
He was on the injury report.
Was he?
He may be able to go 15.
Okay,
Maybe.
I see. I think he is on the bench right now, but
He is on the bench.
yeah,
And he is naturally that left, but do you take Medina out after scoring a goal and switch to Tajuri-Shradi to that side? I don't know.
Well, you said
Yes.
Medina already gave you everything he has.
Yep.
No, he gave us more than what I thought he had. To be completely honest.
So you, sir, can now go home.
Yeah, I would like to see Tony Rocha on the pitch right now too.
Former
Tony-
Tony's
Definitely.
former Orlando City player. What a guy.
Whoa. There's
Yeah.
nobody
Here we
really.
Here we
Defense
go.
is not a priority.
good ball.
more space.
Bro, watch Mueller. He's
Close,
God.
close.
Naked.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
See.
wow.
Ay, Dios mío.
Finally,
Oh,
give him
Dios.
I don't know.
time.
How we got out of that.
Funny there.
Is the goal of this match is to give every NYCFC fan a heart attack? Why is
Effectively,
Mueller?
yeah.
Why is Mueller not at least somewhat defensive?
You know what? Did you guys, I think, going back to El Chicharito, if you guys saw the goal, the run that he made.
Incredible.
Okay, but did you see that? Did you see that opportunity
Wow.
right there? It almost seems like that was the exact
Go,
same
go, go, go.
opportunity where he
Shade
just
off,
flipped
shade
it to
off.
the back.
Oh, that left is nasty.
But this is that instinctual run of if I were in Chicharito's position, my idea would be to get closer and closer to the goal and hope to get a tap in. But his ability to run back.
Yeah,
There
he
comes a point there comes a point where you made your run either too early or they took too long to put that ball. So now you're just standing, and now you're easy to mark. So that that incredible just awareness to step back and then go find the ball in the first post was just that's how he made it. No.
Can Mueller make those adjustments in his game to become more of a threat as a poacher as opposed to just a more direct threat? I don't know.
Why are we popping balls over the top? I do not understand.
So going back on that Mueller thing, they're obviously different players, right? They play different positions. You're not going to find Mueller as often inside the box. And when you look at Chicharito's career, what is it, 89 goals in Europe for Manchester United? Poacher, but Poacher making great runs and playing for teams that provide great service. So, and I think what he did this last game versus Houston was just, what's kind of
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, Keaton.
So Medina and Gudioff.
Medina Parks can add a little bit of stability in that at the defensive end of the midfield. Which
are you guys going to give him a clap for that goal? I mean, come on, you got to get
it. He earned it. That's it.
What a banger!
I know this is the first time you're doing this, but keep that going. If the goal scorer comes off, a little golf clap. I like that.
Hey, there's no fans at games, so we got to do what we got to do.
This is actually the most sociable I've been during a match.
No, that was not a foul.
Oh, come on, ref!
A foul all day. Foul all day.
Isn't this the ref that hates me, Christian?
Clear foul.
Christian, this is the ref that hates me, right?
Yes, let's not tell the story, but yes, this ref does not like you.
Let's tell the story, guys.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We were at the coaches convention, and he was teaching people how to use
the VAR system,
the VAR system. And we're comedians, so
I can already see where this is going. Yeah,
Christian sat, and I held the camera, and I kind of riffed jokes. And one of the jokes was he was showing all the different angles. I go, "Where's the angle where we could see the players paying you?" And
he was not happy, as he should have not been happy. That was ridiculous.
After that moment, I let him know we were comedians. He goes, "Oh, why didn't you say anything?" I was like, "You're right. You're right."
Because coaching conventions is where you would expect to see comedians. Right? Of course.
Yo, fully roasted. You're right, Calen.
Oh man, that's why I love you guys. Going where no one else would dare to go. I like it.
Will said I should have a badge. Imagine my thing says comedian. That would be wonderful. I should just wear a red nose just so people know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Ooh.
Oh.
I think one. I don't know if this is a Ronnie Dyla thing or this is just because they feel they need to. It seems like NYCFC is being very aggressive on trying to get some interceptions and run back and maybe counter. And I think that will leave you in a pretty dangerous position if you do that too much.
Yeah. Well, something happens. Even like as soon as you turn the ball over, it zaps your energy for a second. And energizes the team with the ball. So I think that's really the aim right now.
Ooh, here goes Nani.
Nice.
Okay.
Gotta get the ball back.
Do we see this as a 2-1, or do you definitely think there's another goal in it?
There's definitely another goal. And the beautiful part you just don't know. Nothing's gonna. I mean, would it surprise you if anybody scored right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that this went against the run of play. Is accurate usage.
No, he didn't get fouled. He didn't.
Yeah, they called it back.
Oh
no, offside.
He's off.
I felt like Nani got yanked there on the one.
Offside.
Yeah, replay on that one.
Yanked.
That is.
He wouldn't have gotten that when he played for Manchester United. He's not going to get it now.
Oh my God, he totally yanked his shirt. Unbelievable.
I think only Miguel's TV showed him that. Something must be wrong with me.
We're watching different streams.
To the end, showed a foul.
Yeah.
Ooh, good turn.
Good turn. Let's go, Mitri. Jets. Take all that space.
Pass to the left. Oh, Bear open.
Yeah, that's where he wants to be.
Stay with him.
Oh,
that's it.
Nah, don't run it across the top of the box. Come on.
Hold, Pereira. Hold.
Matita was just trying to get on the score sheet himself right there.
What's the perception of him and from the supporters of NYCFC, has he delivered what kind of the expectation?
Not by price point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but why did he let the ball go? He's been, I think he has met the expectations. I didn't know exactly what, I saw the highlight reel, and he looks like Giovinco. That's sort of what we expected, and he's not exactly that, but he has a cannon on both feet, man. So he's good on the ball. He's fast, and he's provided a couple bangers, and that small stature, but the dude can really deliver. Yeah.
I've expected more just based on his purchase price,
right?
Same.
Which is difficult.
Same.
I hate doing it, but when you come as highly touted and come from the scouting network of City Football Group, you kind of expect a little more. And and really every highlight, and there's not a lot of highlights from the Romanian league, and if you're wondering, yes, it has terrible music attached to it. Every highlight, horrific techno music, but every highlight I saw was him breaking somebody down one-on-one, and it's something that's direly needed at NYCFC, and you don't get to see a lot of it. I'm not sure if it's a system situation or if it's because he just sort of doesn't feel comfortable doing it here, or maybe the level of defending is a little higher than the Romanian league. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you're not getting that. And honestly, that's the one thing that NYCFC could really benefit from, is someone who can be put in position on the wing to completely break down that player and have the defense sort of collapse to them.
Yeah, well, certainly to have somebody that's good on the dribble, I mean, it just gives you so many more dimensions to the way you attack, right? Because, that's when you have a player like that, you can just do so many things, especially when for an NYCFC, a team that likes to keep possession of the ball, that has patience to break teams down. When you have Maxi Morales and when teams are bunkered in, like a lot of teams do, when you have a player that can dribble like Matrica can, it just allows you to just to create some chances. I actually did watch his highlight tape before we did a pregame show. The first time he was going to play for NYCFC, and I was really impressed. I mean, he scored all kinds of goals. He wasn't just good on the dribble, but he's just a good, just a good movement inside the box. Great, like you say, great strike. So I was just kind of wondering, because his stats are decent. I think he came alive a little bit more towards the second half of the season. But I was just wondering, like, what kind of the expectation sort of he was able to deliver. But
he was also bought at the tail end of that era for NYCFC, where it seemed like every purchase was going to be a big name, so he kind of has a little bit of that hanging over his head. But I don't know that you'd find any fan that doesn't want him to start, doesn't want him to have the ball at his feet. But I think you will find a good section of the fan base that wants him to do a little more with the ball at his foot, in particular one-on-one on the wing, because that will literally make everything so much easier for NYCFC, especially with players like Bear, who move beautifully in those. I mean, just think back to the goal against Red Bull, where he sort of back heels it between the goalkeeper's feet. Those types of movements only happen when the defenders are collapsing away from your main forwards. And something that Matrica could really give. I love this because it just shows that I'm not just, on our show, we very rarely talk about actual soccer.
Listen, that's why,
I was like, where am I? What's happening?
Yeah. Somebody emailed us not too long ago. I think the last thing I did with MLS, they were like, wow, you actually know soccer. And this person has been watching our show for 4 years, or at least listening to it. So,
well, I think every time we're talking soccer, Calen is rolling his eyes like, what is he talking about?
I was actually looking at, I saw Correa had pulled out the little tactics dot board.
Yeah, really interesting.
I hadn't seen that to this point, at least in the water breaks, but clearly with the lead, the last 15 minutes trying to reorganize his team. And I find that pretty interesting. I mean, now, Miguel, we had talked about this before, but the decision to go with the same lineup as opposed to what we've seen from nearly every other team as far as some type of squad rotation. Now the last 15 minutes is where it's like, all right, can you use these 5 subs? Tesho's come on, I think 15 minutes ago from back to front and organize them in a way to, I think they're going to probably take a little bit more of a defensive posture for the last 15.
Well, as I said, you're right. And I think, when we started to think about what these games were going to look like, we couldn't predict a lot of things. But I think when you realize that there was going to be 6 games in between these games, one of the things that we said was you're going to see the strongest team possible on the day, because 6 days is sort of enough time, Major League Soccer players are used to 3-day turnaround, sometimes even 2. You know how crazy the schedules can be. So I'm not surprised that the lineup was the same. However, there are a couple players in there.
Whip it.
Nope.
Ref.
Nope.
Come on.
Yeah, but like I was saying, there are, when you look at Sebas Mendes, you thought before the beginning of the tournament he was a starter, because that's what he was last year. He was arguably, top 3 best players for Orlando City, and to see him
Test the keeper.
Oh, finish. Oh, come on.
Oh, he made up for that mistake, huh?
What a save.
Double save.
Why does every keeper have to stand on their head against us?
Yeah, right.
Fantastic.
Oh my God, that's a nasty save.
He literally could have hit that
Wow.
anywhere else. It would have went in.
Andres Pereira coming in.
Yeah.
How many
Wow.
Pereiras you got on the
Wow.
team?
We have a Pareja, we have a Pereira, and we have a Perea. Say that 10 times.
Pronunciation.
Pereira, Pareja.
Parrera. No, but listen, this is the first time that El Pulpo has been tested since he's been in Orlando City, and there was a big expectation. Hey, epa.
Oh, what's happening? What's
Something's
happening?
going on.
Everybody love everybody.
I like drama. I like drama.
It looks like, I don't know if something's being checked here or
Mauricio looked really flustered.
Oh, wait. Is that Tillerholm?
Tinnerholm.
Ground. I think they're saying that maybe
Elbow?
bumped into him or something. Or Robin. But yeah, but like I said, it's a great double save by El Pulpo Galese. And as I was saying, he wasn't.
Let's take a look at this. I'm trying to see what happened.
See this.
Oh, it's the two of the box.
That's a red card.
With Pereira, no chance, because he's
That's a red card.
he's coming behind his shirt to see what size it is, and then Pereira is.
Did
Come
they,
on.
But listen, let me tell you something. If you met Pereira is the nicest
yellow.
guy you will ever meet.
I'll take
That's,
it.
and he's
that's,
being
a,
subbed off. So
that's a
yellow
hard
card.
yellow.
Pereira?
One of them.
I told you.
Yellow card for Pereira, and now Pereira is coming in.
Benji Michel as well.
Benji Michel, let's go. Let's stretch that field. Let's hit him on the counter. Let's go.
Benji finished 2019 really, really strong. I think there's a lot to come from him this year.
Yeah, he really did. He's he's a homegrown player for Orlando City, somebody who, grew up here in Orlando, so he has that love for the badge. That'll make you go the extra mile for your club. But he's been fantastic, and he's a great guy to have around the locker room. I mean, everybody's just so happy with him. He's a great interview as well. Really funny guy.
I met him.
Just a great spirit.
He came and spoke to this class of rookies, this beginning in the preseason in Orlando, and he played for a former teammate of mine at University of Portland, Leonard Griffin. So good.
Oh,
good.
Leonard, that's my boy, man.
Oh yeah, did you guys play together?
We played together, man. What a guy, man.
Wow.
Epa.
Yeah.
Shout out to Leonard Griffin. What a guy. It's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Him and his brother. But Leonard is just, Cal. He's just.
We lived together in Chicago for the Fire for a year. Good.
I would never say it to his face, but Jansen has the worst fade.
I was going to ask, is that you think that's a bubble haircut, or you think that was done pre-bubble?
I think he lost a bet.
I want to say that this is effects of the pandemic, but he's had it before. So
I think the same guy who made Omar Gonzalez's sandwich gave him that haircut.
Is GMS on for NYCFC as well? Did he come back? Steven?
Who?
No.
The
GMS.
Scottish guy.
No.
I saw him warming up.
Here we go, Tesho.
Go on, Tasha. Get there.
Ooh.
No,
Hold.
not against Iron Man.
Brilliant.
No. Whoa.
One more.
Jeez.
Good ball.
How much
that's-
space are we going to give them?
What is this?
OMG! Sean,
Senor, Tesho. Look at me. I did it with my forehead. Look at me. Senor.
Bruh.
Okay. All right.
What is happening?
That is a 89th minute FIFA goal.
It's happening exactly what we said. If NYC doesn't get the goal in the next 10 minutes, Orlando City is going to get the third one on the counter.
We are looking at control of the game right now.
This is what happens.
Calen's had to win that ball.
Yes, we do.
From Tesho to start that move off. Starts it and finishes it.
Yeah, but
Alexis, Will said, do we need to put the Orlando guys in the green room again?
You can actually just cut the feed. You can cut their feed if you want.
It's a classic.
What are the odds that's offside?
Let's check. Watch Tesho here. Let's make sure. No, he's level.
No,
I don't know.
Oh,
Well, he is.
I think he took the step back to get on. Let's see. I can't see it from that angle.
yeah.
This is the problem I have with it. Like, what an incredible save
Here we go.
by Sean Johnson.
No, he's behind the ball.
Yeah,
boy.
he's fine.
Hey,
Oh,
Damn, is
It's
that the offside drone?
my
Really get
goodness.
was
Thank
that
you.
Come on, guys. This is our time. The Orlando guys are off the screen. Cooligans, let's put some energy in the universe. Let's get back in this game. There's a little bit of time left. We got some magical players. Let's make something happen
Well,
my
if
bad.
something's going to happen, it needs to start happening immediately.
immediately.
I mean, this is the most difficult thing is to watch your team be down by 2 again with 8 minutes to go, knowing this is their home. They're used to this weather.
Yeah. And I have to ask you guys, if the result stands, what does that actually mean for us?
Great question.
Meaning,
I didn't have to do it, Rox.
so I mean, it doesn't look like. I love that you're the host now.
Yo, Calen, you got to go to buy that.
Yeah, bro, you're done, man.
I made it 80 minutes. That's more.
No, I think look, if NYCFC doesn't make it into the past into the knockout rounds, it's incredibly disappointing. I mean, I think we all saw even with when the group had 6 teams in it, we were all like, us in Philly, we're good. We're gonna get through this. So I think it'll be incredibly disappointing for the club.
And if you're Ronnie Dyla and his assistants, this is putting a lot of pressure on you to, at the very least, look, if you don't move forward, what's the worst that this is? It's 3 matches in a regular season. And we all know this is one of the benefits of MLS is the first few matches within the regular season don't always have a wild impact on your ability to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, but with a shortened schedule this year, we don't know how many games we're going to get in, right?
That's a good point.
Right.
So each point, I think, will be magnified. And you start looking at how you start the season and then these 3 matches, even a point here and there, you could, depending on how things go, we just don't really know what this season is going to look like yet. So I think, it's hard to keep, you're supposed to keep the bigger picture here. And for a new coach, it's not the way he would have wanted to start, right?
Not at all. Oh, here we
that's
go.
a good ball. Bringing that down.
Send it in.
That first touch, man. Come on.
I think if you're Ronnie Dyla, I think you really have to start really considering the system you've put in place.
Absolutely.
Is it appropriate for a knockout, like so almost like a Champions League type of system with group stages and a knockout stage after that?
Right.
Is it the right thing going in? Do you play super defensive and just try to sneak in a point? What do you do from this point on? I think you have to take serious inventory because losing one player should not have this massive an effect. And honestly, they've looked relatively good. It's putting it all together,
Right.
Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and take the next step then. If Seattle also doesn't make it out of the group, and if maybe 1 or 2 more teams, maybe say Atlanta doesn't make it out of their group, which I think is entirely possible with the way Columbus and Red Bull have been playing. Still a lot to play for, of course, but would that make you feel differently if it's not just NYCFC that doesn't reach their goals in this tournament?
No.
Sure, but you don't want to be on the same list as FC Cincinnati ever.
Right.
To be completely honest. I think at the end of the day, I think how you're beaten is just as important as who you're beaten by. And if this result stays, to give up 2 soft, easy goals so quickly back to back at the beginning of a match is really going to bring into question preparedness, intensity at the beginning of a match. What's really coming into question at the beginning of a match, and there's so much that can be done, and there's so much that should be done, and maybe just a bit more of a focus defensively will help sort of settle everything down.
All right, we've got Miguel and Taylor back in for you guys. I mean, this
They
has
lived
got
through the James O'Connor era. They're familiar with this, right?
well, you know, I mean, just to keep it real, it really has been a lot of frustration and, you know, sort of false starts and stops. And I understand that this is, you know, MLS back tournament is new, but for a new group and for Perea is trying to set a culture and identity, you hear him talk a lot about this, to start with 2 wins and potentially, you know, go on to win the group. What would that mean for this club right now?
I think that it would give, obviously, Pareja a lot more credibility than he already has, right? Because, you know, Orlando, like you guys say, Orlando City has been through some rough times, and last season playing some games really well, but not really finding the final product, and that's obviously frustrating. You know, you look at some games and you had the majority of the possession, but what does that mean if you're not scoring? And I think that's what's happening at NYCFC. I think it's hard to judge them right now because, you know, it's a new coach. You're missing, you know, you're missing 2 of your best players now with Maxi Morales and Matriza in the beginning of the half, and him trying to get to know his players with the 4 months off. I think it's really harsh to judge him and this team right now, because they have created some great opportunities. If it wasn't for the heroics of Andrew Blake in the first game, and also El Pulpo Galese in this game, I think that, you know, you can say that NYCFC has controlled a lot of the game for both times. So, you know, as you guys know, there's a lot of rust involved. There's a lot of fatigue involved. That the brain is not thinking properly. I just think that it's not, you don't have enough information to judge what this team NYCFC is capable of doing under Ronnie Dyla. That's just my opinion. And, you know, when you go back to, you know, I know predicting is fun, and you look at all these portals making predictions, and I'm like, you're out of your mind if you're making predictions right now. And I know they're fun, but how many people have been wrong, right? You didn't think Seattle Sounders would be in the position that they're in. Atlanta United, I mean, you thought without Jose Martinez, what can they do? But you still thought that Barco and Pity Martinez are players that, I mean, they're millions and millions of dollars of players that can create some damage. And so, you know, what I do like about Orlando City so far, to go back to your point without, you know, going for too long, is that they're staying true to what they did in the first 2 games of the season. You know, they're not adjusting because, oh, this is a tournament style, let's just play differently, play on the counter, let's drop back, and then blah, blah, blah. I think you're starting to see a stamp, an identity, and a philosophy that Oscar Pareja wants to carry through the rest of his tenure here with Orlando. And to have, you know, to win 2 games in such a big fashion, I think it's only going to give confidence to the team.
Can they make it interesting?
Come on.
Brakes on.
Oh, they can't.
The answer is no.
He wants to run up the score now.
And he's got depth
set
too.
pieces have been awful.
He's got depth too, Calen. You know, that's something that, you know, I haven't been able to say in the past, you know, that he's got depth. You know, you started with a team and you thought, okay, Sebas Mendes is on the bench, Tesho Canelo is on the bench, Benji Michel is on the bench. Now with Andres Perea, you know, a kid that's young coming from Atlético Nacional from Colombia, who's been fantastic the last couple of games that he's played. He knows how to play with the U20s World Cup. I mean, it's encouraging. It really is encouraging. And, you know, listen, I know I'm wearing my Orlando City hat on at the moment. I do think that
You're wearing a full kit, to be completely honest with you.
yes. But look, you know, you talked about Columbus Crew being a team that in the middle of the field are very, very strong. I think that Orlando City has a
movement. That's it. Oh,
Wow.
come on.
Another good save.
Nobody's running for that rebound.
Wait a minute.
10
Whoa.
Minutes.
Wow.
Whoa.
All right, if we get a goal on this set piece, that changes everything.
Just like one.
Listen, we need some more creativity with set pieces. Just lobbing it into the box is not being effective. We got to do
2
something
minutes
else.
is a long time.
This is a long
We
time.
might need to rethink some of our comments.
Like, come on. They weren't even ready for the set piece. He took the
Look
corner.
at-
They weren't even ready.
Look at
Not done just yet.
every single Orlando City player inside the box. Look at that. 4 or 5. I think you have one outlet.
Including one guy who half his face is red because he just took a ball off of it at maximum speed.
Top. No, come on. Take it to the top of the 18. My God.
All right, look, we can
No,
restart
wide.
balls in our half.
I think we camp in now.
Ay.
Yeah, I mean, you're essentially playing the soccer version of prevent defense, right? You're just trying to get those 3 points, which really you're up by
Right.
2 goals, so you can do that.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
just park that bus and make it as hard as possible for NYCFC to even get a shot on goal.
Mourinho ball now.
Yeah, this Mourinho does this in the first minute though.
Yeah.
Also yells at his players.
I've been impressed by Perea. I think he's pulled all the right strings with the substitutions. I mean, Michel was the one that had the shot that was saved that ended up being followed up by Tesho. So
If this result holds, Calen, I mean, speaking from the fans' point of view,
Whip it! What the?
Oh,
Diablo.
wow.
He took the hesitation. Oh, man.
right off the
Am I
crossbar.
wrong in saying the crossbar has come into play every match of this tournament so far?
Wow.
This is going to be a long 10 minutes, isn't it?
Oh, man. This is going to be a
Unreal.
long 10
I
minutes.
hope so, Taylor. I hope so.
I'd like to see one go in. I want to see if it gets just crazy at the end.
Calen is here for chaos.
Mitri. Oh, my God. Pick him out. Oh, pick him out.
That would have been incredible.
Oh, man.
How did that stay in?
Good ball.
Turn.
All right. Test the keeper, my guy. Guys, we got 10 minutes, not 10 hours.
Hey,
Corner.
But Calen, speaking from the
Please
fans'
do
point of
something
view,
else with the corner.
from Orlando City, just so encouraged. You know, you're seeing Atlanta struggle, you're seeing LAFC not get full points, Seattle. This is really encouraging going forward if we can hold it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Of course,
Unnecessary.
you had to mention Atlanta.
so if Orlando City
He tried to go
wins
back,
here-
right?
Orlando City wins here, it's going to be the first time they go to playoffs in Major League Soccer. So that's encouraging, you know.
That's not the playoff.
I don't know.
What? We can't call it the playoff?
No.
Guys,
Absolutely
I
not.
need to celebrate. I need to celebrate.
We'll give you
okay?
something, but
Oh, that would have
What
been
do we call it
beautiful.
then? What do we call it? So here's how I feel. You know what I mean? I want to win this tournament, of course, but I also don't want the excuses. I don't want people to say, but it was a tournament.
Yeah,
You know, it's different. You know what I mean?
If you win it, it will be that.
Have
Just
you
so
have
know.
you met
Absolutely.
MLS fans? They'll find something to take
Miguel,
away.
Miguel, you know you don't
want
get
it.
Miguel, you know you don't get the $1 million if they win, right?
Yeah, that's Taylor. But we're gonna celebrate it like it was, right? We're gonna
Of
celebrate
course,
it like.
of course. You got to celebrate it. You got to celebrate it.
that's all that matters.
I am honestly so encouraged from what I've seen. I think, like Calen said, Pereira's got his subs right, and the boys look so drilled and regimented tactically. Let's hope we can see this off.
But you know what that is? That's an Oscar Pereira team right there. That's exactly what they are. Is they understand exactly what they need to do, and that is one of the benefits of.
This is
Another
awful.
important thing as well. Oscar obviously came in to change the culture of the squad. This will be back-to-back wins, which is so important for us that we've not been able to do it. So changing this culture is so important.
That's a really good point that you make there, Taylor, because, you know, when Orlando City loses, you automatically revert back to the days when, you know, when obviously things were going wrong. And, you know, you can lose a game. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to panic. And, you know, I just look at the performances and, like you say, how in such a short amount of time, and I know that we're still early into his tenure, but in such a short amount of time, you're seeing a stamp already. You see a very well-organized team. You're seeing a team that's balanced. That doesn't
him.
No.
don't
Take
him.
the one-on-one. That is what they're paying you for.
Hold it.
Yeah.
That is his moment.
Matriza is making 20th minute passes in the 95th minute.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's hilarious, man.
When we desperately need an individual moment of brilliance, he lays the ball off. It makes no sense to me.
So if NYCFC loses, they're out, right?
It
Could they if they beat?
That's sexy. That's sexy.
depends what happens with
Miami would have to win for them to have a chance, right?
if Philly gets a point, they would be eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I would hate to be in that position, guys.
Honestly, maybe it's what we need.
Oh, really?
You mean Orlando's entire history in MLS prior to this year?
Hey, listen, you're only as good as I heard somebody say you're only as good as your last game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with that one.
Him below the belt.
But I never heard an Orlando fan say that until this year.
Until this tournament.
Orlando now.
Last year, Miguel Gallardo was saying, "You're only as good as your next match."
No. Listen, we gotta enjoy it. You know, it's difficult times at the moment in the world. You gotta take advantage of every moment.
Hey, dude, it's 3 points. 3
Absolutely.
points. If you get them, you take them. You enjoy them. But
6 points
Yeah.
in the East as well. 6 points to add to the one.
Yep.
To the tally. That's right.
it's going to be a tough season for NYCFC after this loss if they don't win the next match, because they haven't won a match since the beginning of the season. So I know it was only 2 games prior to this, but it's such a tough hill to climb after that. Maybe they could catch fire. I've seen teams do it before, and the way the playoffs have usually been structured prior to COVID, it's whoever catches heat towards the end.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But then it's gonna be, it's gonna be a short season. We don't know what that season is gonna look like. Are they going to have time? Is Ronnie Dowd gonna have time to really, get the guys going and go pulling in the same direction and being sharp in the box, because they created chances. That's the reality, But it's gonna be really interesting. And as I said to you guys before, does he have time to kind of do what he wants to do, or does he continue with the things that NYCFC has been doing for the last 2 seasons, where they've been a very, very good team? Does he have time to do that? I'm interested, but I've been encouraged by the performances by the teams that most of them, for the most part, they've stayed true to what they are, to the type of team that they are. They're not really changing tactics because it's a tournament style, and so that's been encouraging. I've really enjoyed that. Every team you've gotten what you've expected, so to speak, or at least they've tried, right?
I think what this second win does for Orlando, if they hold it, it's looking like they're going to now. And I think that what it does for our supporters and the team itself, it just gets us believing. Like I say, after 5 years of not making playoffs, you like Miguel said, a loss and it's panic stations again. I think, early days, I don't want to make any conclusions just yet, but it's changing that belief.
Ref.
Ooh.
Well, I think the biggest culture change we can make that we stop talking about the past. Let's just focus on what's going on right now.
Not all of us have. I'm still talking about your past.
Absolutely.
That's all I have right now.
Come on, Alex.
Take
You got to change your mentality, man. We got to change your mentality. NYCFC is only as good as their next game.
Nice callback, David.
Sammy.
Is this Matrita time on the free kick?
I am not at all impressed with this setup. We need more.
Yeah, I think
We know it's not the players.
No, I mean when you have a new system and a new manager, you can try and drill the system, and it takes a while to understand that. But it does, to see results is what helps make it stick.
Right. Right.
You have that sense of belief where you say, all right, well, we went through this process, we went through that, we went through this training, and then we came away with 3 points, or it worked, or it got me on the score sheet.
That will do.
That is a challenge. How do you continue to build even if the results aren't going your way?
That's the tough part, because
especially when it went for me last year and you had so much success.
Yeah, that's when you look back at what happened with Dominic Torrent. That's what happened, right? It's they started bad and there's.
But they came around,
And they flipped it around. So
that's because his changes took hold, and you have to hope that the same thing's going to happen with Ronnie.
And then one of the things that you needed to do is you needed to play without David Villa, because when you look back at NYCFC, everything went through him. And I remember looking at NYCFC, some players making the wrong decision because they wanted to find Villa, and sometimes Villa wasn't the right decision to make. And so I think changing that tip.
That's it.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You're only as good as your last game.
But shake hands, everybody. Shake hands. Or socially distance. So you got up. Yeah.
You guys socially distance yourself from the 3 points.
Shut his mic off. Shut his mic off.
Be careful with that around stand-up comedians. So you don't want to be that guy in the front row talking.
Oh man.
Guys, nice. I'm being nice because I'm not allowed to curse on this thing.
So guys, this is really fun. I want to thank you guys all individually. If you guys have been watching at home alongside the Two-Day NA broadcast, this was a really fun match, and make sure to tune in for the next one. Later tonight, there's another one, a nightcap. We've got Inter Miami taking on Philadelphia Union. on the other part of this group. And then tomorrow we are doing our second one of these. I don't know what we're calling it, the group chat or
Yeah, that's.
I-
Listen, I'm still trying to figure out what we call that Inter Miami versus Orlando City game. So
I came up with one.
Oh yeah, fire.
What was it? Was it you, El Son Pasico? Was that you?
No, I was Clasicoño.
All right. If you guys come up with a name for this, either way, we're going to be doing this tomorrow night. David Goss is going to be hosting it with a bunch of friends for Vancouver and San Jose, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 2DNA and 2DNA USA on Twitter. So make sure. And gentlemen, thank you so much. Representing all different places and but all good people. So thanks so much. And best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Gentlemen,
Cheers. Thanks for having us.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, guys.
Nice meeting you all. Take care.
Thank you. Football
Guys,
Sports
bye.
Network.
Have a good one, guys.
Oh yeah, watch the Cooligans. Plug all their shows.
Football TV.
NYCFC forever.
And